Hello, dear students. Let's start with the hashtag stay at home, stay safe. Today, we are going to continue with the simple present and we are going to see two forms of the simple present, the interrogative form and the negative one. Let's start with the questions or the interrogative form. So we use do or does to make a question in the simple present tense. Of course, we have some exceptions, questions with to be and the modal verbs like can, might, should, etc. And we don't use do or does with verb to be. To make a question, we have a certain rule to respect. We have to start with auxiliary plus subject plus the verb. So let's start. Look at the first example. We start with do. I say, do I go to the market, for example? Or do you go to the market? So we use do with the subject I, you, we, they, and plus another verb. As you can notice here, the verb is not conjugated. The verb is in the infinitive, and this infinitive is without to. So we don't say to go or to want. Okay. Look at the second example. We say does. Does he, does she, does it like ice cream? So we use does with he, she, and it. Okay. Look at this sentence. You speak English. If I want to make it a question, I start with do. Of course, as I said earlier, do we use it with the subject you. So I say, do you speak English? Do you speak English? So as you can notice, the verb speak is the infinitive. Look at the second sentence. He speaks English. As you can see, verb speak in the simple present. For he, we say speaks. If I want to make it a question, what shall I say? Yes. Does he speak English? What do you notice? Yes, there is no S. Of course, no S, because we have already does, and the second verb is always in the infinitive. So, third person verbs lose the final S in questions. Okay? So this is how to make questions. We start with the auxiliary plus subject plus another verb in the infinitive. Let's move now to the negative form. To make a negative sentence in the simple present tense, we use don't or doesn't. And of course, the same exceptions. It's not with verb to be and not with the modal verbs. Okay, and here I just continue or I just make a normal sentence. I start with subject plus auxiliary and plus verb go or want or any other verb in the infinitive. So I say, I don't want to go out, or we don't go to the cinema. Okay, so with the subject I, you, we, they, we use don't. And with he, she, it, we use doesn't. And of course, plus the infinitive. The base form of the infinitive means it's without to. Look at the next sentence. You speak English. This is a sentence in the affirmative. If I want to make it negative, what shall I say? Yes, I say, you don't speak English. Okay. Look at the second sentence. He speaks English. Of course, the S for he. If I want to make it a negative, I say, he doesn't speak English. Of course, the third person verbs lose the final S in the negative sentences also, like the questions. but you have to be careful. I say, or can I say, I no live in Japan? No, I say, I don't live in Japan. Look at this sentence. She has a cat. This is an affirmative sentence. And look at the verb has. What is the infinitive verb has? Yes, it is have. So for have, for she, he, it, we say has. Can I say she doesn't has a cat? Of course no. I say she doesn't have a cat. Okay, and look at this notice. Don't. What is don't, or how we make don't? It is simply verb to do plus not. It is do not. And I make it in a short form, so I say don't. And for doesn't, I say does not. Okay, this we call it the contraction form. I hope that it's clear. Now, let's go to do an exercise. Do or does, and of course also we are going to use the negative form. Look at the first example. I'm going to do with you the first example. We have a guy playing on a musical instrument. So what shall I say? Do your brother or does your brother? With what we can replace your brother as a subject? Yes, I can replace it with he. And for he, what shall I say? Does. Good. So I say, does your brother play the trumpet? So look at the instrument. Is this a trumpet? No, it's a guitar. So we say, no, he doesn't. Very good. So I let you finish the exercise on part exercises, of course. Okay, and see you soon. Stay safe, please. Stay at home.